Herbal Rituals is an invitation to connect with nature in order to keep us near the ground of our own souls. Oh, I love this book. This is my mug magic for the day. I'll turn my mug around. Sleep in. I love this mug. I love this mug because it reminds me to really get into self-care mode, like cuddling up with a good book. Cuddling up with a good book or a cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever makes you feel good. Today in my cup, I have Lady Grey. And she's hot. She's hot. But that makes sense because we are going to talk about one of my herbal books in my library. This one is very near and dear to me. I love this book. It was first given to me in electronic format, in a PDF. It was gifted to me as a PDF from a very good friend. So I first enjoyed it just reading it in an electronic version of it. And I enjoyed it so much that I just kept looking and looking and looking because I really wanted to own the hard copy. Well, it is out of print in one way. Like the original to this book, if you find it, it is very expensive online. And I guess like the cover is sort of like a handmade paper and it's just beautiful. And if I ever come across this in a thrift store or if someone gifts it to me, that would be amazing. But I do have my eye out for an original. But what I found was there is a site called, I think it's Blurb. I don't remember. Did I get this off of Blurb? I'll find out where I got this reprint. So it is just a reprint of the original. So it's a paperback. And so, I mean, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm so happy to have it. So anyway, let me just say what it is. Herbal Rituals by Judith Berger or Berger. I'm not 100% sure. And this says on the back, Herbal Rituals is an invitation to connect with nature in order to keep us near the ground of our own souls. Each monthly chapter discusses one herb in detail, what it's like, how it grows, what it does, as well as presenting recipes for teas, salves, lotions, and foods, along with rituals appropriate to the season that can bring your life into harmony with the moods of nature. For thousands of years, humans have used herbs and trees for just this kind of medicine. In addition to call on the plants as a source of nutrition, remedy, healing, shelter, and magic. These are the old ways. And just like it says, this book focuses on one herb per month. And what's nice about it, okay, so you know I'm really into seasonal living. I like to orient myself to the wheel of the year, and I practice different earth-based traditions and holidays and recognition, my own special sauce of people to acknowledge and celebrate, seasonal holidays that may be from different cultures. It's just what gives me a touch point or a touchstone to anchor my world. So I love things that reference to seasonal living. I will show you the table of contents. This book starts in November. So this is something to keep on your radar because in November, that would be a great time to begin reading this book. It goes through all the way to, it has a 13th month, which is interesting. a time for pausing. So we go through November is the mugwort, December, pine, January, garden sage and thyme, February, oat straw, March, birch, April, violet and dandelion, May, stinging nettle and hawthorn, June, elder and lavender, July, red raspberry and red clover, August, yarrow and rosemary, September is comfrey, October is burdock. And then, like I said, she has this 13th month section that's just called pausing. And this is such an enjoyable book to read. This is one that you would want to read cover to cover, but you know, like I said, the way it's broken down by month, you could read that herb for the month and then do some stuff around that herb, you know, incorporate it into your life, maybe journal about it or draw it, or, you know, I just really, I really enjoy everything about this book. And then, even though each section is about the herb, it has a subtitle. So, for example, November says visioning, dreaming, and remembering. And this is just the first sentence from November. As a wildcrafter, one who seeks out plants on their home ground, respectfully gathering them for food and medicine, my very fingertips are physical touch with November's gifts of coldness and death. This month brings with it a frequently lusterless sky and a biting chill that keens through grove, forest, park, and street, a whistling canticle of winter's swift descent over the land. That was more than just the first sentence. That was actually the first two sentences. But beautiful. It's just written beautifully. I mean, some of the stuff she said really moved me to where I've quoted it in other herbal works that I'm working on, because I really want to orient myself to what she talks about. And I like the slower pace of studying perhaps one herb a month. If you're a member of the Earthseed Detroit Patreon, you'll see that we're going at a pretty slow pace. Hopefully the downloads and recipes and insights there give Patreon members something to slowly develop a relationship with. So we move on to, you know, like I said, this beautiful writing of her own experiences with the herb. Then she goes into what the herb is good for, talking about its botanical characteristics, some cultural uses in addition to just here in North America, and then recipes here. Well, crafts. We have some crafts. We have some recipes. Now, I've made mugwort dream pillows before. This is a nice recipe with mugwort leaves, hops, flowers, lavender blossoms, and a pinch of mint, along with flaxseed, which is interesting, which probably just makes a nice softness, like it's got a good tactile feel to it with the flax seed sort of, you know, swipping around. And then after the recipes, I don't know if every chapter follows a strict layout, but after the recipes, then she goes into a variety of rituals and ways that you can then use the herb. So for example, we're still in December. We have our recipe for cronewort, which is another name for mugwort, cronewort. We have cronewort vinegar and an infused cronewort oil and a cronewort house protection charm. And then we have a whole section on dreaming and remembering. Practicing dream work in the month of November, we have the blessing of the spirits and the magical world upon our efforts, and we discover a deep inner richness that dwells in the land of the dark, replacing our fear of going within with the peaceful satisfaction of meeting the magic that lives within us. We find that though the trees are bare, our inner lives are teeming with fertility. I just love, her writing is just particularly moving, and the way she stresses our relationship with the plants as transcending and predating all of the oppressive and violent and intrusive and non-human compassion centered things that we face on a daily basis. So I really feel like it's a nurturing and nourishing book. I really cannot speak highly enough. This book was originally written, let me tell you a little bit about the author as I go on and on and on. This book was originally written in 1998. So what is that? 98. 2008. 2018. Okay, so it's almost 30 years old. And on the back of this cover, it says Judith Berger was born and raised in an Orthodox Jewish family in Brooklyn. She teaches yoga, herbalism, and wise woman craft in the New York City, where she maintains a private practice as an herbalist, and she has written on herbs for Martha Stewart Living. So again, that was probably from, 1998 when it first came out. And I have since found out that she does still, let me grab my laptop here. Okay, I did find out, I'm looking at my laptop here. There are a lot of ways you can learn more about this author. There is a past podcast episode on the podcast Mythic Medicine with a 2019 interview with Judith Berger. And I've listened to it before, but I want to listen to it again now because it was a long time ago when I listened to it, when I was, doing my research on trying to find this book. The other thing I wanted to say is, yes, I did get my copy through Blurb, and it was $40.99. Yes, that is expensive, but it was worth it to me. Now, if you look on some of the used book sites for this book, you will find quickly that it is very expensive. Like it's an actual copy of the book is over $150, some even $250. So, I went on and sprung for it because it was very meaningful to me. I was getting a lot out of it and I wanted it in my library. Again, there are ebooks. It's available in an ebook form. And let me see here. Yep. Like on all the used book sites, it's between $150 and $300 for a first edition. One day, because I love this book. But what I was going to say is it is available as an ebook from a number of different sources, and it even looks like some places you may be able to read it for free online. You could also try ordering it through your library if they don't have a copy. They may have a interlibrary loan department that, searches your whole state, and you may be able to get your hands on a copy like that, and that would be for free to enjoy it. She also writes currently to this day on a Substack. Now, I'm not subscribed to it, but I'm thinking about subscribing to it. I'm a little fan of Judith Berger, as it may. Anyway, she writes currently on Substack. There is a website that has a little bit of information. It really just talks about, it kind of leads you to the other places where you can get her book, where you can follow her other writings. But I will share that Judith Berger has been studying and practicing herbal medicine since 1986. She's the author of the book Herbal Rituals and has written numerous articles on incorporating herbal allies into one's life. In 2008, she received her licensure as a physician assistant in order to better serve her clients and patients interested in integrative care. She continues to spend much of her free time in the mountains and fields of New York State, receiving and learning more about the gifts of the plant world. She believes that natural medicine is our birthright and that imbibing herbs in many forms provides vitality and pleasure, the root of all well-being. Her blog is called, well, it was a blog, but now it's moved to a Substack, and it's called Medicine of the Forest, if you wanted to check that out. So anyway, like I said, it's written in a very, just very, what do I want to say? It's not written in a reference book format. It's written in a story format, I guess is what I want to say. Narrative. It's a very nice narrative format. And then we have some recipes in here. Black birch salve, infused black birch oil, and then more on the different rituals that go along. Oh, dandelion potato salad, dandelion blossom oil. I've made dandelion blossom oil before, and it is a great pain reliever. It is so nice. Dandelion pancakes. And then some of the conceptual things, like I said, visioning, harvesting, blessing, turning and returning, slowing, rooting, releasing. I mean, I just feel like this is a really good book to add to your self-care and self-love practice, and that it really emphasizes having a relationship with the land, with plant allies, and using different aspects and focus points to deepen your knowledge of self and to put more peace and love and joy into your life. So I cannot speak highly enough. I guess you can tell I love this book. I guess you can tell. But I'm looking forward. I'm making a little note to myself in November to start it. And maybe we'll do a little series and work our way through this book. So I hope that you're doing well. I would love to know, what is your favorite season for herbalism? Everyone, sometimes, I mean, maybe you like all year round, but maybe is there a particular time of year that you feel most drawn to connect with the plants of the earth, or make medicine, or rearrange your apothecary, or, what is your favorite herbal season? I would love to know. So until I see you in the next video, I hope that you're taking really good care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.